Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll show you how to set up a WordPress website using BlueHost. It's one of the easiest ways to set up a WordPress website, also very cheap, very reliable, and one of the most popular for very good reason, as it's one of the three that's actually recommended by WordPress.org themselves. Now, I'll explain exactly what I mean by hosting and WordPress and everything in case you don't know that, but essentially what I'll cover in this video is how to set up your BlueHost account, how to set up WordPress then, and actually how to get a website that looks something like this by the end of this video. It's very easy to do, it's very affordable, and it's very, very reliable. So with that being said, let's jump into this video. So starting off with a quick explanation, I like to use the comparison of writing a document. So if you're familiar with writing like a Word document or on Google Docs or on any other platform out there, it's kind of the same thing where the document is your website, but there's still different ways you can write it. You can write it in Microsoft Word, you can write it in Google Docs, you can write it in the Apple equivalent. There's different ways, and WordPress is essentially the same idea. It's just one way of making a website. So that's the interface that you just tell it what you want to be on your website. It does all the coding behind the scenes and makes your website appear as it should appear. Now, the second thing is your hosting, and hosting I like to think of as where you're saving your Word document. So if you're writing a Word document, you can't just close out. You have to save it somewhere, or else nobody will ever be able to see it again. So saving it somewhere, if you choose which file or which drive you want to save it on, that is essentially what your hosting is. Your host is going to be where your website's saved, who manages your website, and who displays it for other people to visit. And then the next thing is actually the domain. So you will be buying a domain, and this is a little bit different from a document. This is essentially what your title is. So if you go to like www.amazon.com, or if you go to youtube.com or google.com, these are all domains. And the thing with domains is you can't just claim one for free. You will actually have to pay for that. It's usually about $15 to $20 per year. So really not that expensive, but again, you have to pay for somebody to register your domain through, and we'll cover that in a second. But now the next thing we want to do actually to get started here is to go down to the top of the description, click on the link right there. It should be santralmedia.com/Bluehost. Or you can open a new tab and type in santralmedia.com/Bluehost, and it'll bring you to the next page we need to start with. All right, so santralmedia.com/Bluehost, or you can click on the link in the top of the description below, and that will bring us all to the same page. This will also give you a discount, so you'll have the best price. You'll see it's about 50 to 60% off right there. So it was $8 a month. Now it's $4 a month, and I'll show you how to even get a better deal than that. So if we go into choose plan, we have three different options here, and it's important to look through these because, well, in this video, I'm going to get the basic one because that's all I need for this video, but some people may want the plus or the choice plus, so it's important not to save yourself $1 a month over something that could be a pretty substantial difference. Now, like for example, the automated backup could be a really important thing for your website, depending on what type of website you have and what you're looking for. Likewise, the 50 gigabytes limit of space on the basic option. If you have a lot of content on your website, a lot of pictures and a lot of just stuff, maybe videos, for example, you may want to upgrade to the plus or the choice plus. But like I said, this video, I'm just getting the basic one. For a lot of websites, this is probably all you really need. And $3.95 per month, I'll talk about the price there in a second because it is not necessarily always $3.95 per month. It depends on how you get it. Now, choosing the domain, you can either have one that you already own and transfer it. So if you bought it from Namecheap, which is actually a really good way to buy a lot of domains, or from GoDaddy or something like that, you could save a little bit of money. It's a little bit more confusing, which is why I typically just buy the domain right here. So we are going to, or you could just say, I'll create my domain later. You could skip it if you want. I recommend doing it right now. So let's say santralmediawebsite.com. And of course you could change it instead of .com. The other ones like .blog or .tech, like it's much more likely that your domain's open for those. .com is probably the most recognizable and one that I generally recommend. So then the next page right here, luckily the domain was not taken. I'm sure lots of people really want santralmediawebsite.com. But anyway, as we go down, we can create our account information right here. And before I get into doing that, let's go down and I want to talk about the package down here. So you see that the price, first of all, they have 36 months for $3.95 per month. If you want to pay on a shorter time scale, maybe annual or biannual, then it's going to be either $6 a month or $5 per month. So really not a huge difference there. But if you're willing to make the 3-year commitment, honestly, it's only $140, so it's really not that expensive considering a lot of other business expenses are significantly more. And when you're creating this, WordPress is free, the template's free, the theme's free, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you think you can handle the longer range, go ahead and do that. Another thing is you actually don't have a month-by-month option here, so 12 months is the least you can get, and you'll see right there the other option just popped up. So they are suggesting that we can get either, even a greater savings right now. So I'm going to claim the savings on that, and it'll bring us back to the same page again. And so that's why I didn't type in the account information yet. If that did not pop up for you, the way you would get it to pop up is just go up here as if you were about to X out, and right when your mouse gets somewhere up around here, that should pop up, and that will give you $2.95 per month, again, for 36 months. But now you'll notice that all of these dropped by $1 per month. So now I can get the 12 months for only $59, which is honestly a pretty good deal there. Now we do have free domain registration. I believe the domain's only free for the first year. This also gives you SSL encryption, which you'll see the little lock icon at the top. That's what it's going to do. Very important when people visit your site, and especially if you're taking any kind of credit card payments. Now, the package extras, we have some other things: the domain privacy and protection, an extra $1 per month. That way, normally you could just go to whois.com and I could find out who owns any domain, what their address is, what their phone number is, and sometimes you just want that information hidden. So that's typically what I would do. I'd pay the extra $1 per month to hide that. You also have CodeGuard Basic. I'm not going to get that on this website. I'm not going to get SiteLock on this website either. You may want these, so definitely go and read them as well. Now the payment information, I'm going to type that in right now, and we'll hit submit and get to the next page. So then click the giant blue button that says create my account. It'll bring you to this page right here, and we are going to create a password. And now this will bring you to this page right here, so we can go ahead and log into our account. So next, BlueHost wants to know a little bit more about what type of site you're creating, and this is so that they can recommend plugins and extensions for you on your website. I'm going to skip this step because we really don't need it right now. Likewise, what do we want to add to our store? We can have blog or our site, sorry. Next, they want to know what we should add to our site, so blog, store, about me. I'm going to skip that as well. I'm going to show you guys how you can import an entire website very easily for free. So we're going to skip all of these different things right here. Skip these steps. We're going to skip this as well. So if you get onto the bottom, we don't need to pick a theme just yet. Of course, if you see one there, you could do that. I'm going to show you in this video how to actually get the theme much more easily than that. So we're going to click on, so actually let's just go through this real quick. So we have home, and this is going to give you a little bit of a checklist of things that they recommend you do. You can go down and see my sites. If you have multiple sites through BlueHost here, of course you can have different ones hosted, create a new site if you want. We have marketplace, email and office, stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. Domains, the ones that you bought, are down here, and they tell you when they expire, how much they cost to renew, stuff like that. So for this video right now, to make our site, to make our WordPress website, go back to home, click on WordPress on the top right. So that'll bring us to this page right here, which may look like a very intimidating interface. I'll go through it and explain what we want to do next from here. But first, we want to go to our email, the one that we use to sign up for everything, and verify our email address. So you should have an email that is the whois verification for centralmediawebsite.com or whatever your domain is. And just click the green button that says verify your email. That way they can actually use the domain, verify that it's real, it's not a spam robot or something. All right, so now back to this page right here. I'm going to go through the things on the left first and show you guys what we're really dealing with. Now, starting at the very top, we have the welcome, and we can go to visit site. So if I hold control and then click that, in a new tab, we'll see this is what our site looks like right now. Very bare bones, but there is something there. It's not just a white page, and we're going to change all of this very soon. So first thing I like to do is actually to go down here to plugins, and the plugins are going to be different things that you add onto this. So we have one that's going to make things a little faster, something else that can, like Opt-in Monster, gets email subscribers. So what I like to do is actually go and just get rid of everything that it came with. So actually that one, I do like having that one. That filters comments, but we're going to go down here and get rid of all of these different ones. It's just personal preference. I'll get them again later. But having a lot of plugins, I mean, at least for me personally, kind of stresses me out. I feel like it's a little bit of a vulnerability, and it's also annoying to keep up with updating those, especially if I don't use them. So select all the ones that you don't want, click deactivate, click apply, and that will deactivate all of the ones that you don't want right there. And then we can actually go to the ones that are inactive right here, the ones that we just deactivated, select all of them, and we are going to delete them. So click delete, click apply, and we're going to get rid of all of those plugins. And like I said, we'll get the plugins we need in just 1 second. I'll show you guys how to do that. But that way we're cleaning this up. You'll see the left side here, the interface already looks a lot better because we don't have things cluttering it all over the place. Now, we can actually look at what we have up here. This is how you actually edit your content. So you have posts. If you want to make a new articles, this is really what it's going to be. You'll be doing that up here. I'm going to delete this one because we don't want a blank article that isn't actually doing anything. So just click trash. So now if we refresh this, that probably will not be there. There we go. Okay. So now that's how we do posts. I'll talk about adding a post in a minute. Then we can go down to media. This will be any images we upload that we want to use on our blog posts or on our anywhere on our website. The media is going to be showing up here. Pictures, videos, audio files, just literally anything, documents, it'll all be here. Now pages are going to be what's actually on our website. So right now we have a home page, we have a sample page, we have a privacy policy page. I'm going to get rid of those and we're going to build this up from scratch like I said. So we'll go down, move to trash and click apply. And that way we're getting rid of those pages. Now, I know right now you might be thinking like, Mike, I thought I'm building a website. Why are we just deleting everything? And it's really because it's going to make it a lot easier if you clear out all this stuff. You're going to have far fewer problems if you get rid of everything and start from a clean slate, going down to appearance. This is the next thing we want to do when we're really building this website. So you see the one that's on there is I think it's a 2020 right there. That's the one by default that's on our website. So if I hold control and click website again, you'll see this is the theme right there. That's the one that they're using. That's not the one I want to use in this video. I like to use Astra. Astra is one that I recommend. Oh, sorry. Looks like don't search there because that's going to search the installed ones. I meant to click add new and then search for Astra. So we're going to find a theme. We're going to look for Astra, A-S-T-R-A, Astra. And this one's great because there's a free version, but you could also upgrade to the pro version. So in a new tab, if we go to centralmedia.com/Astra, you'll see that you can learn a lot more about Astra here. And so as I say right there, it's the fastest growing theme of all time. Lots of people are using it. You can get it for free. You can also upgrade, and they have a lot of extra things. You can change your 404 error page. It integrates well with WooCommerce. It integrates with Elementor. It does a lot of things very, very well, which is why I recommend it. It's just an easy all-around theme to use. So we're going to click install, and it's going to install that theme on our website. And then we are going to activate it. So click activate, and that way it'll be the main theme being used on our website. So activate, and it looks like it's doing that right now. There we go. And now what we want to do before we actually go and choose a starter template, which is what we will end up doing, we should go down here and get some plugins. Now, I know I removed all the plugins that we had, so let's go and add new. And the plugins that we want, the first one is called Elementor. So in a new tab, I'll show you guys real quick, centralmedia.com/Elementor. So if you go here, it'll tell you a little bit more about Elementor. You can see that this again has a free version and a paid version. And so the free version has quite a few things you can do. I generally recommend upgrading to the paid version because it allows you to add some more things in your website that I'll show you in a minute. Let's go back to add plugins and let's look for Elementor and click enter. And Elementor is going to be right there. So we're going to click install now. And then we are going to activate that. So once it's installed, click activate, and that will show up on the left side. You'll see our plugins show up on the left side right there, right below comments. That's where we see Elementor. Now let's go back to plugins, and there's one other plugin I want to get, and this one is, let's go to add new, and this one's called Envato. So we can go to centralmedia.com/Envato if you want to learn more about that. So Envato. And this one also has a paid version if you want, or you can get the free version. It has a really cool way to add more elements to your website, just make it more versatile and easy to build the website. That's why I'm adding Elementor and Envato. So, all right, so now we have Elementor, we have Envato elements, and of course, I'll talk about those a little bit more in a minute. But now we want to actually start building this website. So if we go down here to Astra options, this will bring us to this page right here, and we can actually go to get started with an Astra starter template. So click get started. It's going to activate this. Technically, it's another plugin. And what we're going to do is if we click on, well, I'll show you in just one second. They have dozens and dozens of different templates you can choose from for essentially an entire pre-made website that's just imported. And then all your pages are made, everything you need. It looks really good. It saves you a ton of work. And anybody who doesn't do this is really missing out. So we have a couple options here. Now you'll see why I chose Elementor before, because that's one of the options here. Choose Elementor, and it's going to bring you through and it'll show you which ones work with Elementor on the top. If you chose the wrong one, you can change it up here now to Elementor, and you can choose which ones you're actually looking at. You can look at some for business, e-commerce, blogs, free ones that you have to pay for, all of them. I recommend looking at all of them. Some of them do look better, and you might have to pay for them. So like if you really like this style, I mean, I wouldn't compromise and do this because depending on how much it costs, it might be saving you a lot of time. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to get free ones right now. and we're going to go down, and you'll see a lot of these look really, really good, and they can save you so much time. I mean, and just especially as a beginner, like having to make this whole graphic up there, making this little barrier on the bottom, like things like that, they may take a lot of time, especially when you're just learning. So let's go through these and see which one looks best for this video. So I think I really like this one right here. I like how it has a form on the top, and it's also about Windows. I mean, I used to wash windows for a living, so I'm just going to do this one and pretend I'm making a window making website or something like that. And of course, they'll show you the different pages that they already have. You can change these. You don't need these pages. We're going to import complete site, and that is going to take, it might take a minute or two to do that, but we're going to say delete previously imported site if you had one. I don't have one, and that's also why it cleared everything out. So this should be much easier. So we're going to import the content, the widgets, the customizer settings, and we're just going to click import here. And it should take, it says between 2 and 10 minutes. It really doesn't take that long. For me, it's like usually 1 minute, but we'll come back as soon as this is actually imported. All right, so now it's done importing, and we can either visit the site, or what I'm going to do is click X on that. And we'll see on the left, sometimes some more plugins showed up. Occasionally, if you have any widgets showing up in there, and it looks like they did not have to add, looks like WordPress Forms Lite showed up on this one. But depending on which template you chose, like I said, you might have other things showing up there, and you can edit the forms or whatever widgets they added. Plugins, you can edit them on the left. So what we want to do now is actually go to, let's say we want to add a new page, or we can go and look at the pages that there are. So because this imported a whole bunch of different pages, let's go and actually let's check out the site and see which ones we want to keep and which ones we don't want to keep. So I'm going to hold Control, click Visit Site, and you'll see already, remember what the website looked like before? It looked really bad. Now we should have a beautiful website ready to go, all this content there. Of course, we want to change our logo, stuff like that, but you'll see that this is honestly, within a matter of minutes, you have a really, really good looking website. So looking at this, let's say we have home, about, services, maybe FAQs, maybe we don't want that, and maybe we don't want portfolio. So back in pages, if we want to, let's say we want to get rid of, like I said, maybe the FAQs, we don't need that page, and maybe we don't want the portfolio page, just select them. And of course, like I showed you guys before, click on move to trash, click apply. Pages, let's go back, and let's say we want to edit maybe the about page, for example. We can either edit it in WordPress, which I will show you just here. If you click edit, it does the WordPress editor, which is generally pretty weak. It doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm going to click X. Because this page was made with Elementor, we can't actually edit the contents of the page, but we can edit like the permalinks. We can edit stuff on the side. If you want to disable the title, if you want to change the visibility of it, the published date, you can change that right on the side here. You can update it, but I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm going to click edit with Elementor right here, and that's how you get to editing it. Or if we go back to where we were, we can actually edit with Elementor by clicking right here. So edit with Elementor. Let's edit this about page using Elementor, and you'll see why I really like using Elementor as the page builder, because everything is just drag and drop. All right, so here's our page. You'll see that if you scroll down, you have tons of stuff going on, a little animation right there. I really like that. And anything you want to change, so you can just click on it, and you can say, I just don't want to change that from about to maybe about us. And maybe the phone number, we want to change that to, I don't know, just a whole bunch of ones. That would be our phone number. We can go and change this image by clicking on it. On the left side, you can go and choose the image you want. So from the media library, see, it looks like we have a whole bunch of different pictures. Maybe this is the one we want there. We can add some alt text. So we can say a wrench. We use, I don't know, something like that. So insert the media, and then we have our picture right there. Obviously, that's not a good picture. So we could change the size of it. We could say, maybe we want the full one. Maybe we want a custom. We could change the dimensions of it. So thumbnail is going to be a lot smaller. And of course, like, you can really go through and figure out all the settings. I have a full tutorial on Elementor separately if you guys want to know everything that there is to know about this. But easily, as you can see right here, you can go and click on things and change stuff that's already on the page for your contents. If you're looking to make a website fast, that's what you'll be doing. Now, if you want to add some things on the left, if you go to this little grid, the little, 9 dots right there, you can go and you'll see that there are so many different options here. And this is what I was saying before. If you upgrade to Pro, you have quite a few more options down below here. So you can have portfolio, you can have forms, slides, you can have animated headlines, you can have a price table, tons of different options that may be very valuable. Down here, you get some more free ones as well. But for the most part, these are the basics when you're making a website. So if we say, I really want a divider underneath this text, just click it, drag it to right there, and you'll see we have a divider. You can change what the divider looks like. You can change if it has an icon, solid line, double line, what it's going to, the color of it in style. You can change the weight of it. We can make that a really thick line. And you have just so many different options. Let's do that right there. We're gonna make it look like that. So lots and lots of options when you're using Elementor, and you see that's generally how you'll be making your page. And if we want to add something to the bottom, you look for this little dotted box. And this is what I was saying where we wanted to add Envato elements, because this gives you some kind of pre-formatted entire blocks, an entire section. So if we click on Envato elements, we don't have any installed right now. We can look at the free kits, the premium kits, and this can easily make an entire page if we want to, or we can go to free blocks. And since we're looking at that right now, we want a block. Let's just say we want one that's going to be a contact block. Maybe something that's going to say, contact us, and we want maybe this one right here with a map. So let's install the template. We're going to insert it then. And depending on your theme, this might not match perfectly, but I find it's very convenient and it's much easier than having to make these. So you can install it and then you can just tweak it so the colors are right and everything looks as you want it to. So you'll see down here we have the stay connected, we have a map, we have send us a message, and you would have a form right here for people to contact you. I don't have that set up right now, but that's how we can make our website. And you'll see this is extremely easy to do. So we're going to say update, and that way this is all ready to go. So we can head back to WordPress and start working on the rest of our website. So to get back to WordPress, click on the little hamburger icon, click on exit to dashboard, and you can do the same thing with any page you have, any post you have. Editing posts is going to be the same. So click on WordPress logo, and editing the post, like I said, is going to be the same. You can edit any of them with Elementor. It'll look just like that. You can add themes to it. You can add different templates rather for all your blogs, and I'll show you that in the Elementor tutorial video. All right, so now that we know how to edit different things, we want to come down to settings, and we want to change the site title. I actually just did this a minute ago, and you can just type in, normally it's going to say like welcome or something, so just change it to the website title. Change your tagline. I think at first it said something like another website or something like that. So change it to a reasonable tagline that might be showing up in your website. And then you'll notice that we do have a domain, but for some reason it showed up and it's showing this one here. That is not what we want. So we want this domain instead to be showing this right here, santrailmediawebsite.com. This is the domain that we bought. This is one we want for this website. So down here, the WordPress URL, type in that, because before it showed you this one right here, the box 2255 temp. Change that. Make sure you have HTTPS as well. So S right there, HTTPS. And then we can go down and have the admin email. We can change things like the permalinks. So permalinks you'll see on the left side here. So we want to save the changes of this. Click Save Changes. All right, so we changed the website title and tagline, and the URL, when we changed that, it did make us sign back in again. So I did that, and now we can go down here, and you'll see that you can change the way the date's formatted, and really what I want to do is come down to permalinks, because this is the structure of how your website actually shows different pages. So if we want it to be our domain.com/sample post, that's probably the best way to do that. You can also change some different things down here in a custom structure. Some people want it organized by date. Some people want something in between the website and the post name. So you can do all of that if you want. I generally recommend post name is probably the best way to do that. And so that's pretty much really what we want to be doing when we're getting started here. Now, going back to appearance, something else we might want to do with this website. So first of all, let's go and open the website. So now if we type in the domain, it shows up here. This is our website. And you can see here that maybe we want something else up here. Maybe we want something next to appointment, another page, for example. If we made a new page, it's not going to show up here by default, and that's because it's not in the menu. So if we go over on the left side to appearance, we can go down to menus, and within menus, you'll see that we have the option to change what's on the header. So this menu right here is the main menu. We can add another menu for a footer if we want, but I'm going to leave it right here. Now, if we want to add maybe something else, so contact, for example, is already on there, but if we don't want it on the menu, but we still want that page to exist, we can go and remove it from the menu. And likewise, if we decide, you know what, I really did want that on the menu, you can select it on the left side. You can also see your posts on here, your custom links, if you have maybe a link to anything else, your Facebook, for example, or your Instagram. So actually, let's say we want to add to Instagram. So we want to say Instagram.com/Mike O'Brien with 2 N's, and we're going to say Instagram, and we're going to add it to the menu, and that way it's going to add it to the menu. If somebody's on the website and they want to see my Instagram, so we'll say save menu on the bottom there, and if we go back over here and we refresh the website, once that's done loading, this will show up on the top and we'll see Instagram. So anybody can go and follow me on Instagram. So right there, contact us is gone. Now we have Instagram. If you click on that, it'll bring you to my Instagram, which is exactly maybe what I want. And on top of that, if we decide, you know what, really we don't want that there, we want that under the About Us, you can just slide it up, and then if you move it to the right, you'll see how the box moves over a little bit, and now it's a sub item on the About Us page. So if I refresh it and I refresh the website, we can go and you'll see that it's no longer there. Instead, we have a drop down under About, and then this is the Instagram. Right now, there's clearly a problem. We don't want, I believe it's probably white font on a white block. That's something that you want to fix, but that's what you'll be doing right there if you want to add the link as a sub item. All right, now another thing I want to show you guys is actually how to change your favicon on the top. So right now we have a little globe. That's the default. It's not really what you want. So instead you see WordPress has their logo right there. BlueHost has their logo. Every website really has their logo on the top, and it helps for really recognition of your brand. And so to change that, we go to Appearance and we go down to Customize, and this should allow us to actually customize the appearance. Now, and then if we click on Header, so it'll show up, and we should go to Header. And then within header, we can go and look at the site identity. And from the site identity, not only do we have a logo that we want to change, so that's going to show up somewhere on the left. Typically, your logo is there, depending on your theme. But we can also go down here to the site icon. So we can select a site icon. You want to upload your logo, of course. But maybe for the purposes of this, I'll just pick any picture just to show you guys what's going to show up there. So maybe that one. I definitely do not recommend this one because it's a very weird aspect ratio. But let's say we want that one. That's going to be our logo, and we want to select in on maybe that. That's our logo, for example. So it's going to show you right there. That's where it's going to appear on the top. So we're going to crop that in, customize that, and save it. So now if we click on Publish, it should be doing that. If we go over here and we go to santrailmediawebsite.com, we should have the new icon on the top. And right there, you'll see our icon is now showing up, which is, as you can see how tiny that is, you want to choose more of a graphic like this and much less of an image as we're seeing here. But that just shows you guys where that's actually going to be found and how you can change that. Now, the very last thing I want to show you guys before I leave you in this video is on the bottom, we can view this not only as a standard desktop site, but also the mobile site as well, which is very important that you're looking at this because as you can see here, this doesn't look so great by default. So we want to change this to make sure that on a phone, it's looking as good as you possibly can. You want to make sure you don't have anything that doesn't make sense, any images that are overlapping. Check that out because one thing about WordPress is being so customizable means that you also have to keep an eye on things that could potentially go wrong. So like I said, check this out before you publish. Let's go back. You can also see it on a tablet as well in the middle, but I'm going to click X there. Go back to the dashboard, and I believe that's everything I wanted to show you guys in this video. All right, everybody, so that's everything I have to say in this video. That is your full tutorial, how to start a WordPress website using BlueHost. And of course, there's so much more to know about WordPress being such a very large topic. And so I'll link a couple more videos in the description below if you want to know more about using Elementor or Astra, or maybe if you want to start an online store with WordPress. There's tons of other videos. We have more tutorials down below for some more advanced stuff beyond just setting up your website. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider going down and liking and subscribing. Comment if you have any questions about this video. Good luck with your website. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.